So it just proves that it's false. Like, whoever he had who's impersonating this officer who I talked to is a liar. It's not really the officer.
Do you remember your reporting officer ID?
10347.
So there I am, thinking I need to give a status of the channel update when Phil lazily saunters into his stream, loses his fucking mind, and then starts in on a retcon of what he did in Wings chat in the early morning hours of December 10th. So now here I am because Phil just can't be fucking normal. In we go.
Okay, let's go. Let's start. First off, we have a $2 tip. All right? This person says, the happiest that I have seen Wings of Redemption is since he left Lolcow Live was actually when he was on your podcast. He was high energy, seemed like he was enjoying himself. He seems to be surrounding himself now with extremely toxic people, and it's sad. Should we just get this out of the way? Would you guys just like to get this topic out of the way so we can move on to other stuff? Because I know if I don't get it out of the way, I'm going to end up being pestered by this all day long. And I feel like maybe we should just go ahead and address it now. You know? All right, let's do it, okay? So here's the deal.
Yeah, let's address it 2 days after it happened, not the day after. No. Then Phil might be more stressed and get more easily trapped into a corner when people press him about what he did in Wing's stream. And to be clear, what he did isn't all that bad. It's like, I don't know, taking a sip of whiskey in public. Should you do it? Probably not. Is it tacky? Yeah, it really is. But if you're not being a full ass about it, most people won't care. Unless, of course, you've been a high and mighty Karen about the dangers of alcohol and professed how liquor would never touch your lips. And that's kind of what we have here. For context, Phil went into Wings chat on his DSP Reacts account to demand answers from Wings as to when he might be on Phil's show, thereby attempting to derail. He even said that Wings should stop playing this game so that he could talk to Phil. Derailing is a mortal sin in Phil's streams, but here he is, wanting the special boy treatment. There's more to the story, but we'll get to that a bit later. I just wanted to give you context early on in the video.
Let's get you all caught up on this topic of Wings of Redemption. So here's what happened. Back in October, I reached out to Wings. I said, hey, will you be on my podcast? It'll be a hangout session. You can ask me whatever you want. We'll have a good time. He came on for 2 hours, to many people's surprise, because I was told by so many people, Wings will never do your show. He never agrees. He never shows up. He's self-destructive. He burns bridges. He's not going to do it.
I swear to God, that reminds me of someone.
He did it. He showed up, and we had an awesome show. Go check it out. It's archived on this channel. It was 2 hours of fun where we talked about all kinds of stuff from all over the place, and I think that you'll enjoy the conversation if you haven't seen it yet, okay?
If you want to hear a 12-year-old profess their superiority to another 12-year-old about how... I honestly don't know, because they're both insufferable idiots, but feel free. But that's what the show was. Phil trying to lord status over Wings on any topic he thought would stick. There are some funny because it's cringe moments, but overall, it's someone with the body of a melted candle flexing their superiority over a mass of blubber.
That's about it.
Now, after that happened, immediately I thought, hey, we should have him back because there was a lot of conversations and things that we were having that didn't finish. You know, a 2-hour conversation, there's only so far you can go, particularly when we're two guys who've been around as long as we have and we've been through what we've been through. We have similar kind of trolling experiences on the internet. I would definitely wanted to have him back as another guest. You know, hey, let's chill and do it again. But I didn't know how soon to do it. I certainly didn't want to have him back right away. So I said, hey, maybe we'll do like late November. Now, we all know what happened in late November. I ended up having an interaction with Asmongold. I ended up being in an interview with Asmongold. It blew up, and it kind of changed everything.
Translation. Phil got a few $1,000s and spent it immediately. Only after the income began to slow down did he realize that he's useless as a creator and desperately wanted Wings back.
So, I had rescheduled with Jordy and said, hey, Jordy, that's Wings of Redemption's real name if you don't know. I said, let's actually have you come on first week of December. Let's have you be maybe the first day of December, right? December 1st. Let's have you on the show. We'll do it. We'll get caught up. We'll have more to talk about now, obviously, because I've had this Asmongold interaction. And we'll get, you know, I heard of all the bad things that had happened to him, that his Battlefield account had been stolen from him by his trolls and stuff. I thought, hey, this will be a good appearance, right? Especially starting off the holidays, right? Have a nice guest on the show. I thought it would be a great positive thing. He said he would do it. Sounds good. The night before, He cancels. He says, I can't sleep. I'm not feeling well.
And the fact you didn't see this as a "I can't go on a date with you, I'm washing my hair" kind of excuse is so very telling about you, Phil. Look, long and short of it, he's just not that into you. You are a charisma and personality vacuum. While I still hate my appearance on the Cambion interview, I will happily tell people how impossible you are to speak to. And Wings got to drink from the fire hose on that front. And I don't blame him for canceling. There's no benefit to him, and it must be reiterated, you're just awful to talk with, Phil.
Let's take a rain check. And I responded and said, all right, let's do it next week instead. Same date, same Monday, just a week later. He never responded.
Take the hint.
Now, he starts saying in his videos and his streams to his audience, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to be on there. Don't worry. We rescheduled. I took a rain check. It's not a big deal. But the thing is, his trolls kind of know how he behaves and saw the fact that he last minute rescheduled as a bad sign. They were actually shocked that he ever appeared on this show. And the fact that he rescheduled last minute for the second appearance meant basically he was never going to show up. They were under that impression. I didn't get that impression because, I don't have that actual experience with Wings. So I said to him, all right, let's do it for a week. Okay. So a whole week is passing and I'm DMing him saying, hey, are you coming on the show? He's not responding. So finally, it was last weekend. I took it upon myself when I was in this office on my day off, actually doing some rewiring and reworking of the office, to just randomly see he was streaming. I was like, oh shit, maybe I could talk to him on his stream quickly, get his attention. So I jumped into his chat that afternoon and I said, hey, what's the deal? Are you coming on the show or not? And basically he says, don't be offended that I'm not responding to your DMs. I don't really respond to people's DMs. I'm just an antisocial guy. But the reason that I don't want to commit to being on your show is my sleep schedule is still screwed up. I'm literally sleeping all day long, waking up in the evening, streaming all evening through until noon the next day and going to sleep in the afternoon. Also, I don't know what I'm doing with my wife this weekend, and that's going to affect my sleep schedule, so I can't commit to Monday, but I'll let you know. Okay, and I told you guys that in a podcast earlier this week. It's up to him. In fact, what I did is I responded to him in a DM, and I said, okay, the ball's in your court. Any day this week, you can come on my show. It's completely in your control. You tell me what day you want to come on the Level 1 podcast, and we'll do it special just for you, for your schedule. I even offered and said, you could come on a night stream. It doesn't even have to be during the afternoon. You could actually come on during a night stream and be a night slot. That would actually fit into your current messed up sleep schedule, okay? No response.
Take the hint.
All week long. So, at one point you get a little fed up.
And there it is. Phil was jilted. He was wounded. Here he is pouring all this work into typing messages into Discord. And Wings just wasn't answering. Now that I say it like that, it's almost like it doesn't have anything to do with the physical exertion that Phil is having to suffer through, and more like a "don't you know who I am? You don't do this to Big Daddy Phil" kind of attitude. Like a child.
Like this guy keeps saying in his streams and his content, he's got no beef with me, he likes me, he wants to have a conversation again, he loved that last appearance, he wants to come on, but then he never actually contacts me to schedule it. So what the hell's going on?
Damn, Phil, it's almost like he's trying to let you down easy and hope that you take the hint, which I know isn't a guarantee. Sometimes you get a fucker like me who can't read nuance and has to experience someone telling you, no, bro, when someone acts like this, they're being polite and they want you to fuck off. But therein lies the problem. Phil doesn't have any friends or even acquaintances who can explain that to him. So he just takes everything quite literally at face value.
So the other night, I saw randomly again, he was broadcasting. I jumped on his stream. I tried to talk with the guy and reason with him and say, I don't even care if you say, no, I just don't want to do it. I just need an answer because my audience wants to know what's going on with you, why you're not showing up. You said you were going to be here. They want another interview. Are you going to do it or not? Even if it's no, I wouldn't be offended. Just say yes or no.
Who the fuck do you think you are, you crazy little shit?
I know what you're thinking. Surely Phil didn't go to another streamer show, pop in chat, and act like an entitled ass. No, that's exactly what Phil did. So much so, he started arguing with mods who were like, bro, this is not your stream. Can you please shut the fuck up? Phil's response, I assume absolutely shithoused, was, He canceled last week and kept me waiting for over a week. I do deserve an answer on what is really going on. And I love you, man. I love you so much.
To which he responds live on his show, you shouldn't do this publicly. We should be doing this privately in DMs because then my trolls will latch onto this to make content. And I'm like, Jordy, I've been trying to talk to you in DMs for over 2 weeks. You don't respond. This is the only way I can even get you to say something. That's why I'm doing it this way.
And Phil offering this type of justification cements him as both a psychological abuser and sociopath in my book. Wings says, "Not here, bro. Let's talk another time or somewhere else." And what does Phil say? He essentially says, "Wings, you have misbehaved. You will now answer to me because I am the most important person in the universe. You, in public, at this completely inappropriate time, must answer to me, a rando, on your stream, because you said you'd get back to me." Who does this? How Phil has made it to 43 without having some chick call the cops on him for stalking is a literal act of all parts of the triune God. This man makes that chick in the crazy ex-girlfriend meme look like a certified baddie who would let you hang with the boys whenever you want. Like, Jesus Christ, Phil. Take several steps back.
So here's the thing about Wings that you guys may not know. Unlike me, he has publicly stated he hates being a streamer. He absolutely hates video games, and he wishes he didn't have to stream them, but that's his job. He only does it to make money. He literally has said this over and over again in his content. I've heard the words come out of his mouth. It's not like, oh, I'm watching troll content and he's saying that. This is what he actually says, okay? So I said, all right, how about this? He's sitting on his stream playing Battlefield, and he won't give me an answer. How about this? I'll just contribute, and I'll make it so that he's hitting his goals, and then maybe he doesn't have to worry about playing this stupid game, and we can have the conversation, even if it's a 5-minute conversation, and he says, no, I don't want to go on your show. At least the conversation's done. So I sent the guy a couple super chats during his stream, saying, hey, I'm here, I'm to contribute, to be positive, to help you hit your goals. And I even said to his moderators, what is his goal for this stream? Does he have a goal he's trying to hit? I'll hit his goal for him. I'll help him out. That way, he doesn't have to worry about playing this game he claims he hates playing on stream, and we can chill for a few minutes here and figure this out.
Well, that is certainly one way to spin what you did. Another way is to say that you scolded him in a super chat and attempted to derail his stream. What if he didn't have a goal, Phil? What if his goal was to stream? What if his goal was to entertain? What if money was a secondary issue? And yes, I know I'm saying this about Wings. Shut up. How many times, though, has Phil says he runs the show and he will do what he wants and that he won't be controlled? And then this batshit crazy Stage 5 clinger shows up in another person's chat and tries to buy his way into getting the streamer to act like he wants them to. Oh, and then he retcons it, saying that it was all for Wings' benefit. I mean, you've been able to see the super chat on the screen. Does this sound like a message for Wings' benefit? Quote, I do message you privately and you don't respond. Enough with the excuses. I don't want you to be trolled, but you need to treat others with respect when they treat you well. Let's go and get this next appearance locked. And I want to draw attention to that last part, when they treat you well. Fucko, you aren't entitled to shit, irrespective of if you treated someone well. As a matter of fact, you're supposed to treat everyone well. Or did Roman Catholic school not teach that?
His moderators literally played dumb. I'm not kidding. His moderators, Jordy sometimes has a goal. I don't know if he has a goal for this stream. I don't know. They know what his goal is. They were lying.
The fucking irony.
Okay? His moderators are playing dumb and being stupid for who knows what reason. All right? So after basically trying to get this guy to respond to me during the stream, he starts ignoring me, and one of his moderators actually times me out for 24 hours.
Meerkat, King Jad, and I were all present for this train wreck. Phil was spamming for attention like a crack whore looking for her plug while she's holding up $100. Just straight up, Daddy Wings, can we talk, Daddy? And the mods kept telling Phil, shut up. And yeah, they timed him out for 24 hours. Not forever, a day. And Phil, the man who bans people forever, had the audacity to be offended that he got timed out in his stream. My brother in Christ, if banning people caused death, you'd probably have killed more people than Genghis Khan and Adolf Hitler combined. But God forbid that Phil can't chat for 24 hours. Oh, the chaos. Oh, the injustice.
For simply contributing to his stream and trying to get him to say yes or no about coming on the show. They timed my account out for 24 hours. So I logged into my other account and said, your mod timed me out, to which Jordy laughed and said, oh, pimp, it's only 24 hours.
That's right. The smug-faced son of a bitch on the screen right now is looking incredulous over the fact that he was timed out for 24 hours, as if, how dare this happen to me? I bet he wants to speak to the manager. As a matter of fact, Phil, bibbidi-bobbidi Karen, this is you from now on.
Okay, so after that, I said, I've had enough of this. And I DM'd him one last time and I said,
So that's a fucking lie. Here are some of the messages after he got timed out. We have a message about how he spent money, and he's essentially offended that money didn't make Wings talk to him. Him being outraged that his other channel was timed out. Him demanding to be unbanned by a mod. Him chastising mods. And then finally, Phil vaguely threatening Wings if he doesn't do what Phil says. This just screams professional and definitely doesn't scream unhinged psychopathy.
Your mods are not there helping you. Your mods are coddling you. Your mods are enabling you. Your mods are making you do and say things. They're constantly goading you. They're actually doing troll memes and things. You don't realize it. They get you to act how they want. You're like a puppet to them. You understand? They're not there to protect you. They're there to basically do things that will harm you, and you just don't realize it. Because no one in their right mind would have someone coming on a stream contributing and time them out for wanting to have a 5-minute conversation about something that you said you're interested in. Okay? So I said, listen, I want a yes or no answer. Give me one.
Who the fuck do you think you are, you crazy little shit?
He didn't give me one. He ignored me all week long. Okay? So as of today, I have absolutely no answer from Wings of Redemption whatsoever about if he's going to come on this show. All right? So now I have to say something about the situation, and I'm about to. And then I'm going to move on from it, but I need to say my piece, and then I need to move on. All right? I don't think that Jordy Jordan is a bad person at all. I think he's a person who's a victim of circumstances and himself at the same time, and I think that it's a 50-50 split. I do believe that Wings of Redemption's situation that he's in, being grossly overweight, constantly eating fast food and drinking soda on his streams, saying he hates his life, he hates streaming and all this, and he's trapped in this life. I do believe that a lot of that is extrapolated and basically exponentially increased because of the fact that he has trolling to the level that he has. All right? I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to say that isn't happening. At the same time,
sorry for the cut in here. Phil's about to do a kind of fourth wall break because that music you're hearing, that's Phil's. And he does a cringe little segment about, what is this music? But let's get past that.
At the same time that I absolutely will admit that the trolling is probably some of the reason that Wings is in the situation he's in, the other half is him. It's his own doing. I'm going to give you a comparison. Imagine someone who gets bullied, okay?
Speak your truth, Phil. Speak your truth.
They go into a cave somewhere, an isolated cave, and they say, man, I really hate this cave. Then all their friends and family go out there. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you in this cave? Get out of the cave. And they say, I hate this cave. So then they go and they buy dynamite. And they start lining the doorway to the cave with dynamite and C4 explosives. And everyone around them is staring at them saying, what are you doing? You said you don't like this cave. You want to get out of the cave. Leave the cave. Do things to get out of the cave. And they say, oh, I will. I swear I will. I really need to. I know I have to. This is best for me. I hate living in a cave. So then they put a device and attach it to all the explosives so they can detonate them. And people are saying, wait, what are you doing? You said you don't like the cave. What are these actions that you're doing that are leading to you being in that cave? And they say, I don't know. I swear it's everyone else's fault. And then they hit the detonator button and the cave walls blow down in front of them. And they're literally trapped in the cave forever. And then as they're stuck in there forever, they look up and they scream, it wasn't my fault.
And that's not my fault. And it's not my fault. What did I do wrong? Like, it's not my fault. I did nothing wrong. It's not my fault.
That's the situation Wings is in. All right? Yes, he absolutely has a lot of problems that I think are extrapolated by his trolls. And he is stalked by a hell of a lot of people. All right? At the same time, not everyone hates Wings of Redemption. Not everyone thinks that he's a horrible person. Not everyone wants to roll with the detractor memes and be nasty to this guy. Some people actually want to be nice to this guy. I do. I wanted to kind of be nice and befriend the guy and have him on the show and every once in a while have an interaction. I'm not saying that I needed to have a long-term business transaction with this man. I just wanted to chill with him.
Yeah, this is a load of horse shit. I've already mentioned you should be nice to people by default, but Phil wants to be nice, which is very revealing to me because it and Phil's behavior tells me that Phil sees himself as superior to Wings and only wants to hang with him so he can feel more accomplished than Wings, which is ironic considering that Wings stated he saved the lolcow money, so in reality he's probably better off than Phil here. But his feigned good guy that Phil is trying to put on is both gross and infuriating. I wanted to be nice, he says. But was he thinking that when he vaguely threatened Wings for not talking to him? When he told the world by proxy about Wings' medical conditions? I believe this might even be Phil seeking schadenfreude.
I think we have some things in common. I think that interview we did was a good one. I think that we could make great content together over time. But Wings is a victim of his own actions. He builds a prison around himself from which he can never escape. Overeating, bad actions, complaining, whining about going on stream. But then when someone comes to his stream and says, hey, I'll have you stop playing games. I'll actually hit your goal. Let's talk about your next appearance. He ignores it. He blows it off. He tells me to DM him where he's already ignored me for 2 weeks in DMs. And then his moderator times me out.
Again, Phil, it's his stream. He doesn't have to justify himself to you. I'll be honest, Phil, if I had a goal of, I don't know, $500, and specifically you showed up and said, I'll give you $500 if you play Clair Obscur. Not only am I not playing Clair Obscur, I'm making sure the next time I play, you can't be around. Would I do that for anyone else? Probably not. But you are so grating, so annoying. Yeah, I know, that's rich coming from me. So egotistical and so goddamn insufferable that I want to inconvenience you. The Kino Boys have basically said the same, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Wings secretly hates you. In all honesty, that's probably why he's gone cold on you, Phil. You just, at the molecular level, suck.
Dude, this is your own creation. I like you. I want to hang out with you and be a positive person in your life, and you have shut me out. That's your doing, not mine. Yours. There's no one to blame in this particular situation but yourself. It's that simple, 100%. I'm sorry. There's no other way to spin this situation. All Wings had to do was have a level of professionalism, a level of respect.
A 100% statement here, no ambiguity, no hidden meaning, no sarcasm. Phil, you are not worthy of any form of respect from any person. And I normally respect people by default. Phil, you are not entitled to professionalism from Wings, and you're entitled to absolutely no respect from fucking anyone. You are worthless. You have no value. You have no skills. You have no purpose in this life. Your wife would be better off without you, your cat the same, your neighbors of your rotting condo the same, the drivers that deliver you food would be happier if they didn't have to deal with you, the government would have been more efficient without having to suffer through your bankruptcy. You are a literal leech on society at large. You are entitled to scorn, hatred, mockery, and disgust. Deal with it.
He doesn't have that. Instead, he wants to be in his cave forever. Even though he says he doesn't want to be, I'm sorry, I have to believe that that's bullshit. You don't sit there on stream all day, every day, acting a certain way, saying things that you claim, you don't want to say, but you say them anyway, stuff in your face all day, drinking soda all day, unless you actually want to do it. That's the case. You might say, I want to be better, but if you do, its actions speak louder than words. It doesn't matter what you say, it's what you do. His actions have outright said this is what he wants to do for the rest of his life. And it doesn't matter how many people care, how many people try to support him, how many people try to help him. He's never going to change. It has to be him that makes the change and nobody else. No one can help this man but him. He refuses to help himself. So because of that, I'm done. I'm done trying to reach out to this guy, be nice to the guy. I mean, I've done every possible thing I could. I've talked nice about him. I had a great interview with him that tried to help him. I wanted to have him on again right after the Asmongold interview because I figured I could maybe give him a little bit of a positive rub. It would help him out in his content. Maybe he'd get more viewers. It would take some of the pressure off of him. He doesn't want to play ball. He doesn't even want to respond. He can't bother at all to give me a respectable answer about anything. Instead, he wants to ignore me. Well, Jordy, guess what? You like Burger King, right? Well, guess what? Like Burger King, you can have it your way. Because now I'm not going to bother you anymore. And you're going to sit there on your stream playing the games you claim you hate, stuff in your face, acting like a fool for the rest of your life. No one's going to reach out to you to try to be friendly to you or save you or help you because your actions shut them out. It's not us. It's you.
This has such scorned lover energy. I encourage you, listen to that segment again. What's Wings' sin? What did he do to earn the ire of Big Daddy Phil? Why is the headsman dragging his axe to the block? He ignored Phil. Oh, and Phil can't have that. Remember those messages? Don't you know who Phil is? He's a former professional Street Fighter player who took 4th place at EVO, and he worked at a helicopter company. That immediately means he's a high-value alpha male, and you will treat him with the respect he deserves. And I wrote that as a bit, but reading it back now, that is unironically how Phil sees himself. Imagine resting your entire life on the accomplishments of nearly 2 decades prior. I can only hope Phil has the life that he deserves.
That's all I have to say about it. Ladies and gentlemen, Wings of Redemption will not be appearing on the Level 1 podcast. Under no circumstance. The only way I would ever have him on the show again is if he actually publicly apologized for his actions, the disrespect, the unprofessionalism, the fact that he couldn't even give me the time of day, and the fact that he kept publicly saying in his content that he wanted to be on my show and then acted otherwise. If he publicly apologizes for that and says he will change his ways and then actually acts differently, again, actions speak louder than words, then maybe I'll consider having him on the show again. But as of now, Wings of Redemption is banned from my podcast and will not be appearing ever again.
Spoiler alert, Phil. Wings does not give a fuck. And that's about the only form of justice we're going to get out of this. I mean, besides the laughs from Phil huffing copium and still being the whipping boy of the internet. So good job, Phil. You really stuck it to Wings, who doesn't care about you, your show, or money from you. I know you think you really did something here, and it's fun to let you keep thinking that. Great job, King. Before I sign off, an update about the channel. I recently acquired new responsibilities at work. Travel might increase again, and workload is increasing by a large percentage. I will likely have to reduce the number of times I stream in a week or a month. I'm not leaving the Snortex yet, but there might be less streams and more videos, so neophytes and rats, rejoice, you'll get to use one of the main perks of being a member more frequently. Additionally, for the rats, I still plan to record new members-only lift videos, but these will be of a single set of certain exercises. This way, if you want to build a routine and you forget how to do a lift, you can watch me do it poorly and learn from my mistakes. Much love to you all. Most especially my newbies, neophytes, and godly gym rats. Until next time, swole is the goal for a troll, lift heavy, eat clean. Remember, for everyone else, treat them kind and with respect by default. Phil, on the other hand, on site, you can roundhouse kick